update on the Miata. Laupacino's Miata. We got some new parts. We got a new radiator, and here it is right here. It's a coil radiator, modified by, or spec'd out, I guess I should say, by Flyin Miata. Laupacino's radiator busted, and we put a slight mending on it with JB Weld, but it has now failed in a different spot, and it's time to get a new one. So it took months to get this radiator. We ordered it probably in like October, and it just came. It is now February. We are going to put it in today. We're gonna open it up, show you guys all the prettiness of it, and then get on to installing it. After that, we will test it out, see how it handles the heat, or heat dissipation, I should say, as opposed to a regular one, and maybe go on some drives finally. Right, Laupacino? Yeah. All right, so we'll see how all this goes. On to installation. We've been waiting for this car to get fixed. It's been down for months. We've been driving it around a little bit. We went on a couple of cruises with it. I took the MR2 Spider, and Laupacino was taking the Miata, and we had a problem with the radiator, so we put some JB Weld on it to fix it one day when we were going out last minute. But hey man, I'm telling you, this stuff right here, this JB Weld, it works. But now it's cracked in the seam here, and it just kind of leaks out. As you can see, we got some spray here, and it's been kind of spraying all around. So the radiator's done. We've been waiting to get a new one because we want to replace it with a stock radiator. You know, those are pretty boring. We ordered this thing back in October, and it is now February. So it took almost 5 months to get this thing. And here it is. I mean, and this thing's beautiful. It's a Flyin Miata product. It's the Crossflow radiator. We had to get a special hose for it. We got a radiator shroud with the dual fans. And we got this bad boy. This is the main piece right here, and this thing is a nice looking radiator. Koyo, the core is made by Koyo. It's designed by Flyin Miata, and it is beautiful. It makes the other one, the stock one, look absolutely horrendous. Now we get to put it in. So this is exciting. New parts are always exciting. We're going to see how it goes with the install. A couple of things to remember is, you know, always use distilled water in your radiators. No minerals, etc. will cause less corrosion problems in the future. And we are going to use water wetter. Here in California, we don't get too cold of weather, so water wetter works really good for us. And we don't need antifreeze because it's not going to be sub-zero or freezing temperatures anywhere around here, or at least anywhere we're going to drive the car or take the car. It comes with some hardware, wiring, some bolts, hoses, zip ties, etc. It looks pretty complete. We got a little instruction pack here that tells us what we're supposed to have. Oh hey, look, it says radiator brackets required for all NB. Fan brackets required for all NB stock fans. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. Maybe we don't need them because we have the new fan shroud. I don't know. But we might need that because we don't have them. Something maybe we forgot to buy. We'll get to that later. Anyway, so this is the instruction set here. It says, oh, warning, not everyone can perform every installation. It's critical that you be honest with yourself in regards to your ability.
What are you talking about?
There it is right there. If you don't feel comfortable, they're letting you know right now. Be honest with yourself. You might not be able to do it. But I think you probably can, and we're going to go ahead and tackle this. So here we are off to the install. Yeah! We are putting the radiator in, and wow, we decided to put the radiator in. We got this underbelly pan right here. And this thing's plastic. It's pretty tore up. We're just going to go ahead and replace it with a LRB piece. Laupacino decided to go ahead and go all out, I guess, and ordered a new lower splash shield slash air deflector for the bottom down there. So these are the side pieces that will go in, and this right here is one of the underbelly pans. LRB is the company, and this one right here basically is the one that will replace that main piece right there. So we're gonna put these guys in as a replacement. Always nice to put in new stuff. These things are smooth and built really well. They got a pretty decent thickness to them, and they should help with keeping all the air and everything going smoothly across the bottom. And it will also help with oil changes, because taking that thing off is a pain in the neck. And if you're a Miata owner, you know that. There we go. We'll put these in later, and we're gonna get back to the radiator. So right now we're gonna take out the upper radiator and the upper radiator hose. We got the clamp off. And, nope, look at that. Broke it right off. That's where it was cracked and leaking from, so that makes sense. The composite part of the tank just cracked right off. So now we gotta pull this thing out of here and get the rest of the radiator out. But it's not that big of a deal. It was broken anyways. So that's what we get. We get. Oh, that's what happens when your radiator gets old and crusty, and then things just break off and stuff easily. So there we go. So we're gonna get all this out and put the new one in. Here's the old radiator. We got this out. These are the old fans. Laupacino got the whole shebang. So with these stock fans here, normally you would take these off and use some mounting brackets and some other stuff to put them on the new radiator. But since Laupacino went all out and just went ahead and got all the good stuff all at the same time, we are just going to go ahead and leave that assembly by itself. And we assembled the new fan shroud here. This is the Flyin Miata fan shroud with the stage 2 kit, they call it, because it's got a more powerful main fan and then a less powerful auxiliary fan. You can tell the difference between the motor here, the thickness of that. So you can see that these motors are significantly different. And the fan shroud looks pretty. It's really nice. You don't have to get the fan shroud, the Flyin Miata one, to use the new radiator. Laupacino just decided that that's what he wanted to do, and went ahead and ponied up for the extra there. So we're going to mount the fan shroud now to the new radiator and then get that installed in the car. Alright, so we're back at it, working on the NB again. We last left off with installing the radiator, the new radiator, and now we're going to put in the panels down here, finish up the radiator, attach the hoses, upper and lower, do some wiring, hopefully get this thing back on the road. On a side note, last night I was working on my Autel tool and I broke it, I guess somehow. I've been trying to update it for a little while, talk with Autel, and they have been giving me some stuff to do with it, but nothing seems to work. And last night I finally loaded the Maxi Tools APK they put on there, and then it just wiped out the whole thing. So we might be getting a new one of those in the near future, and that would be beneficial because the Porsche has a problem. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but yesterday I was driving it, and the check engine light came on and start-stop functions were deactivated. So we got to look into that, but I can't do that without the tool. So that's where we're at on that. But now we're going to get back to the Miata. We ran into a little bit of an issue with the radiator. One thing is on the lower hose where it mounts right down here where the radiator is held up on the bottom here. The radiator outlet for the lower hose here is too close, and it would just rub on this portion of this lip. So we got to grind that down to fit the hose on without it rubbing all the time. So we're going to do that. We're going to grind that down, stick the radiator back in, and hopefully get it all up and running. It's been a few days working on this. You know, I only get a little bit of time here and there to do it, so we're going to get that ground down, put the radiator back in, test fit it all, put it back together, fill her up, and make sure we got no leaks. that's where we're at with the
Mazda Miata.
Okay, so we finished grinding and trimming this lower radiator hose, or lower radiator mount, and as you can see now it's nice and spaced out. Before it was just resting on there right on the hose, and that would just cause damage later on. So now that we got that done, we are going to put the clamps back on it and get things finished up. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what it was that it was hitting. So if you wanted to put one of these in yourself later down the road, or if you're working on a project yourself, and I mean just a problem area that could possibly be, and you can put you can change that so that you won't have problems later down the road, is what I mean by a problem area. Some radiators obviously fit differently and etc. This one is the Flyin Miata version of a high performance radiator, so that's what we came across. One more note, after we did the kind of chassis modification or lower radiator mount modification, if you will, I wanted to say that you should always paint the surface of the part that you ground down or cut or modify so it doesn't rust. It would be very minimal, but just kind of completes the modification, if you will. If you have some touch-up paint for body color of your car, you can just paint that right over the top of it as well. I just use some standard black primer. I don't have any of the factory body color paint, so for now I just put that on. Maybe later down the road we'll paint it with some touch-up body color paint, but I just wanted to put that out there, let you guys know. You should definitely put a little something on there just so it doesn't rust and become an issue later on. I don't know how much you're going to be driving it outdoors or etc. or whatever in the rain and elements and etc. If you're using your car mainly for track, or if it's not really a pretty car anyways, you don't really care. Maybe you don't need to do that, but I like to do stuff like that just to kind of complete the modification, if you will. Okay, so one addition that we're going to put onto the Miata is the lower belly pan, which kind of goes up underneath here and covers up all of the lower part of the chassis. Prevents rocks and other stuff from flying up, gives more aerodynamics, and provides a better flow of air underneath the car. So we got one from a company called LRB. These are the panels here below, and they all kind of fit together and go underneath the car. The main thing is that this stock piece that goes on the car, which is this guy, it's kind of plasticky. It's really a pain to take off. I believe the LRB one just comes right off, so it's easy for oil changes and etc. without having to remove all the side panels and etc. of the other one. And it also extends further underneath the chassis to get a better flow of air underneath the chassis. But yeah, again, these are the pieces right here. I'll kind of get a close-up of them in just a second here. So here we go. So we've got this panel here, which goes further down underneath the car, more by the transmission. And then we got these panels here, which kind of are the wings, if you will, that extend out on that panel there, which cover up these sort of side portions of the car underneath here. And then we've got these two panels here that go right here on the very side, just kind of right in there. Sway bar fits through those holes right there, the big holes. So we got that addition to the car that we're going to put in now, and hopefully install goes well. They give you a pretty detailed set of instructions and the oil kind of filter or drain plug, I guess it might be, access port. And they also give you some hardware. It looks pretty good. It might be stainless hardware, so that's kind of nice. But anyways, that's the LRB Speed lower air deflector shield, if you will. And we're gonna go ahead and start bolting this thing together and test fit it and see how it fits on the car. I will get you some install pictures of that underneath the car when it's done, and point out any things that were sort of maybe difficult areas, etc. Okay, so a couple of things to point out here when installing the bar here. I mean, sorry, not the bar, the the underbelly pans. One is that if you see right here, this in the chassis, there's a hole here, and this is the speed nut that you have to put in there. Okay, so that's one, and then on the other side, there's another one here. There's also one that goes right in the middle up under here. Okay, so those are a couple of things to note. You got to put those in the chassis so that you can mount the belly pans. We're here on the final part of the radiator install. We got the radiator all bolted down. This is the original bracket. We're still actually waiting for one more custom bracket, I guess it is, that Flyin Miata sells for this radiator. I believe it mounts to here, the same mounting point, and then it kind of pickle forks the radiator neck like that, I think. I'm not exactly sure. We're going to wait until that comes in. But for the meantime, we are going to fill this guy up and then bleed out the air. Got some distilled water. That's a must. Always use distilled water. It keeps all the minerals out and reduces electrolysis and so on and so forth from the different types of metals. I believe that the block on this car is iron and the head is aluminum, and then we got an aluminum radiator, so that mixes different types of metals. The minerals can cause corrosion damage, so distilled water is always the best, and frequent changes as well, maintenance. And we got some of this kind of wetter stuff. We're not going to put coolant in this car, like I said before, because we don't get that cold of temperatures, and it won't freeze. The wetter stuff has the rust and corrosion inhibitors in it, so we don't need anything beyond that, and it will cool better because water has better cooling properties in antifreeze. So the more water you have, the less antifreeze, better cooling properties you get. Not that we probably need it, because the radiator is huge. I mean, look at this thing. It's super thick. It's much better than the stock one. We got the dual cooling fans, the new fan shroud. This thing is really gonna run cool, we hope, at the track when it gets there. If it makes it there. This is, the third one, and unfortunately, the other two, they never made it to the track. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and fill this thing up and get it all bled out, the air bled out of the system. The LRB underbelly pan. We ran into quite a few problems. I'm not sure if they didn't test fit it before, the company itself on this car specifically, which is a 99 10th An with the fog lights and etc., because there's a lot of brackets and things that hold the fog lights, the stiffening brackets that had to be removed because these side panels, well, I'll get into that later. But anyways, we're going to fill up the radiator, start her up, and see if we got any leaks. Alright, so here we go. We're going to crack these open and fill her up. So I put most of the gallon in there. I'm going to now put in the wetter stuff, the water wetter stuff, because I want to try and get it mixed as best as possible. I know that the water pump and etc. will mix it up pretty good, so it's really probably not necessary, but I'm going to go ahead and put in this stuff. So it's basically about 1 bottle per automotive cooling system. So we're going to go ahead and stick one of these in here. I imagine if you have a super large cooling system, you might add more than one of these, but I think just one will probably be fine. This system's not huge. I mean, it is huge for the car, but not huge in the sense that it doesn't have multiple radiators and so on and so forth like you see on some of the Porsches and BMWs and Mercedes-Benz high-performance vehicles. Alright, here we go, filling up the rest. Okay, so we got the radiator filled up. Now we just got to bleed out all the air. The best way that we're going to be able to do that on this car, because it doesn't have a bleed valve on it. Some cars do, some cars don't. So it's usually at the thermostat neck. This one doesn't have one, no big deal. We're going to kind of put it on a slight incline, so we're going to drive it up a couple of ramps and then just put it in a slight incline so that it will move the air towards the front and the top, and it will kind of let it come out, bubble up. That doesn't always work on all cars, so depending on where the radiator, the hoses are located and so on and so forth, it does work on most cars to get most of the air bubbles out, or at least enough of the air bubbles out where it won't cause a huge problem. Mainly, we don't want to have any large gaps where that like near the head, top of the head or whatever, etc., that would cause it to overheat that particular piece of the head itself. We're gonna work on that. All right, YouTube, so the install went really well. We got the new bracket here, which came and worked out well, and we got that installed. We bled the system, everything's good on it. We will be definitely doing more Miata stuff on the car, so if you're interested, stay tuned. See you guys a little bit later on the channel. Hope you guys are doing what you enjoy doing, or click one of these other videos.